Next on Life Lessons.
Thank you for tuning in and welcome to Life Lessons. I'm Deagria Cook. Today we'll be talking about healing hearts. Healing Hearts of Indy is dedicated to healing hearts, mending marriages, and helping people live a happy, healthy, and fuller life.
We are just really passionate about helping people to understand that what they are experiencing in their marriage or their relationship or in other relationships in their lives is really just a manifestation of something that's much deeper.
They offer experienced professional counseling for individuals, couples, and families. Today we'll be speaking to two therapists about relationships, family, and how you can live a richer life. Healing Hearts of Indy has played a fantastic role changing lives, creating happier, healthier people. Let's take a look.
We try to hold the mirror up and tell people what we are seeing and help them to see these things for themselves.
Most importantly, we really like to build relationships with our clients so that they trust us, they feel comfortable, that they know this is a really non-judgmental place that they can come in and talk about anything that they may be struggling with.
We are interested in helping you to learn some things about yourselves and to help you to be able to have the life that you want. And that's really what we're all about.
Let's get started with the show.
Next.
Hello and welcome to the show. I am your host, Deagria Cook with Life Lessons, and today I have two awesome guests from Healing Hearts of Indy, Christy Alosio and Kathy Henry. Welcome. Hi, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
So we're going to get started. I am so excited to hear about the work you ladies are doing in the community, helping and healing and really encouraging people to be their best. So how did the organization come about?
Do you want to talk about that one?
Sure. Well, Kathy and I both have a passion for therapy and for relationship counseling, individual counseling, and we just wanted to create a place that we could help people and really help people heal, not just do, kind of surfacey communication work, but we wanted a place where people could really come in and better their lives and have a happier relationship, have happier kids, have happier lives. So together we just shared that passion, and so we decided to go for it and open Healing Hearts of Indy.
Wow, and you guys have been in business for how long, may I ask?
It's almost 2 years now.
Oh, wow, that is so awesome. That is so awesome. So I'd like to know if you guys could share with me. So what is the background? So licensing, I know that you're an RN, correct?
Yes, I was originally an RN, and then I went back to school to get my Master's of Social Work to be able to do counseling.
Okay, and you, Miss Kathy?
I was actually in HR. I was a director of HR for a major corporation, and I was getting counseling myself and decided that I just absolutely loved the work, and I was surprised at what all I was learning and the fact that I didn't know it beforehand, and so I really wanted to give back. I wanted to help other people learn the lessons that I learned, and it became a passion. So I also went back to school to get my master's in social work and then started working as a counselor.
Thank you. You said you learned lessons and you want your clients to learn lessons.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. That is so interesting. I like that. I really do. So I want to talk about relationships. Relationships. I mean, we have to have relationships.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot walk the earth and we cannot walk through life without relationships. We need relationships. So can we just discuss relationships? So I know that you guys do individual therapy. I know you also do marriage counseling and therapy. Can you discuss with me and share what are some of the reasons why people come in for marriage counseling?
Well, I first want to say I think a lot of people go into marriage assuming that it's easy, or we're gonna hit a couple bumps in the road, but if we work hard enough, we'll be able to get through it. I don't think most people are prepared for really what's to come in the future in their relationship. So relationships are hard, but we see people come in for so many different reasons. People come in because of resentment, because of financial issues, because of blended families is a big one that people struggle with, affairs, infidelity, trust issues, addictions,
Cut off, being disconnected, cut off from their spouse.
Having, like a roommate type marriage. We see all of these issues walk through our doors.
But this is my thinking, this is my thought. Is it really those things or is it something else? You know what I mean? Like, oh, fix him, or oh, he snores, or oh, she spends too much money. Is it really those things or is it like something deeper?
Well, that's really what we're so passionate about, and what I think is different for what we do versus a lot of other counseling agencies, is that we are just really passionate about helping people to understand that what they are experiencing in their marriage or their relationship or in other relationships in their lives is really just a manifestation of something that's much deeper and that they've been carrying around, and it's just surfacing in this relationship. And it's because the relationships are so important to us that we that finally gets us in the door and allows us to address it.
Wow, thank you. That's a huge deal. Thank you for sharing that, because you know what? Most people wouldn't know that. They would not know that. So thank you for sharing that. So my thought is, I'm wondering, and I'm sure the audience would like to know. Mm-hmm. So how do they come into your door? Meaning, is there like an assessment? Do they have an initial conversation? Is there more than one assessment, or how does that work to get your services?
Sure. When people first come in, we do usually 2 of this sessions are assessment. Sometimes there's 3. It just depends on how much we need to get into with, and that varies per couple.
Okay.
But those assessments, we're going to go over everything. We're going to talk about the relationship. We're going to talk about each person as an individual. We're going to talk about past relationships. We're going to talk about family of origin.
Okay.
How they grew up, their history. So all of those things are going to happen in the first 2 to 3 sessions. And then the session after that is a feedback session. And we're actually going to put together a feedback where we're going to lay out exactly what we see as the issues for each person, for the relationship. And that's our session to talk to them. And we're just going to lay it out and say, here's what we see is going on, and this is how we feel like we can move forward.
A feedback session?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to take a quick break. And when we return, the ladies are going to discuss a feedback session, because to me, that's amazing. So you don't want to miss it. Stay tuned.
The best way to get in contact with us is to visit our website. It's healingheartsofindy.com. We have a wealth of information on our website. All 5 therapists here have blogs. We also do some videos on YouTube, so you can kind of get to know us a little bit through that and kind of figure out who we are and what our philosophy is. You can also reach out and email us. My email address is Christy, that's CHRISTY, at healingheartsofindy.com. And you can reach Kathy at Kathy, KATHY, at healingheartsofindy.com.
Welcome back, and thank you for watching Life Lessons. I am here with my great guests, Miss Kathy and Miss Christy from Healing Hearts of Indy. And we were just discussing, therapy and how they work out in the community, and how they can benefit families out in the community. So ladies, thank you once again. So before we took a break, you guys were talking about this feedback session, and my ears really perked up, because to me, it's kind of unheard of, and you don't really hear about this. So explain to me more, please, either one. What is the feedback session?
So the feedback session, we usually schedule an hour and a half or 2 hours for that. And what we do is we have taken all of the information that we gathered in the assessment and put it together and tried to identify different individual issues, dynamics, patterns, things that are going on. There's usually a cyclical pattern that's going on in the relationship that the couple can't see, and so we will help to point that out to them and help them understand where that's coming from, because just pointing it out really doesn't help them. They need to understand what's driving it. Mm-hmm. And sort of, we do a lot of teaching. We draw on a whiteboard so that it illustrates to people some of these things that they need to learn and understand what's happening in their relationship. And then after that, we start working on how to how they can address these things so that they have more control over their own behavior.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You draw on a whiteboard.
We sure do.
We just want people to leave knowing so much more just about relationships in general that they didn't know. And then obviously we make it very personal as well with some of the personal things that are going on with that person. But, we want to say, here's something you didn't know about relationships that you need to know to be successful. So
Interesting. Thank you. You guys come from a compassionate perspective. And when I saw that, it really stood out to me because I think compassion is something that we really, really need. And a lot of times people lack that. They just want to say, do this, do that, do this, and this is how you get it done and do it. So can you talk about the compassion that you feel towards your clients, towards your work? Can you talk about the compassion you gain just and the benefit that you gain from doing the work that you ladies do? I think it's so phenomenal.
We were actually just talking about that on the way here about how when people come in, they see their spouse really as an adult, and a lot of times even as an enemy or as someone that they're having so many difficulties with, and they can't get them to hear them and so forth. But we really want to help teach them how to have empathy and compassion for each other, and with themselves, because people have a hard time giving that to themselves as well. And so that's a lot of the work, is helping them to see their partner in a different way and helping them to have a little more grace and compassion with themselves.
You have said a mouthful. You said grace, compassion, and compassion for themselves. I mean, that is huge. That is so huge. What I would like to know, if you guys could share this with me, what do you guys think about self-care? I mean, we talk about compassion, we talk about marriage and family, we talk about all these issues that we create, that we bring in, that we, acquire. But what do you guys think about self-care?
Learning how to be kind to yourself and to give yourself permission to...
Yes, permission. I like that word, permission.
Exactly. To give yourself permission to get the care that you need and to the time to take care of yourself. But we talk about self-care from a very surface level of helping people feel comfortable going to get a mani-pedi, or
not feeling guilty about it.
Exactly. Or taking your lunch break, for crying out loud. A lot of people, they work through lunch.
Sure.
And, but from that level all the way down to giving themselves permission, both with the time and finances, and with your emotions, to go to counseling and so forth. And then also just finding who you are and what you love. Just, exercise, or I do ballroom dancing.
Oh, wow, how exciting.
Just, finding the things that really bring you joy and give you that in your life. Yeah, having fun.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we're going to talk more of healing hearts of Indy. Thank you and welcome back to Life Lessons. I am here with Healing Hearts of Indy, and we were just discussing self-care, what that looks like, how important it is, and how everyone needs to take care of themselves. So I want to know, and I'm sure the audience would like to know, what are the life lessons that you ladies have learned about relationships, having a good connection within your relationships?
I think I had mentioned this a little bit before, but I think it's so important for people to realize how hard relationships are and not to take that for granted. And saying that to feel like it's okay if we're struggling to get help, because sometimes people feel like I'm the only person going through this, or we're so different because we're going through this, when really so many people struggle. But I think for me personally, I going through this job has taught me a ton of empathy. And just learning how to be with people where they're at, to not be judgmental, and to try to, if somebody's, say having an affair or doing something that people would look and say, oh, gosh, what's going on with that person, to, instead of judging, to say, why is this person doing that? There's a reason that this is happening. They're not doing this because they're bad or they want to hurt someone necessarily. It's something within them. And so for me, it's like my mind is always thinking to try to figure out somebody else's thought pattern or what's going on with them or how did they get here so I can help them see it. So for me, it's just empathy and just learning, to, non-judgment and trying to figure out, why people are who they are.
Thank you so much for that. I mean, that was really great what you said. I mean, I just felt the compassion that you had. You said empathy and meeting people where they are.
I think probably one of the biggest things I've learned in my own counseling is, and through the relationship stuff, is really how to be true to myself. And that's, it's just very easy to give up what you want, what you need, or maybe you don't even know who you are. And to find who you are, to understand yourself, and to learn how to be true to yourself is just so important.
It is so important. I mean, I am sitting here in awe. I'm serious because you've said 4 or 5 things that I really, really try to walk in. Empathy, compassion, being true to who you are, knowing who you are, finding out who you are, and really doing the work, the emotional work, the mental work, and the physical work to find out who you are. I think it is awesome, absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, so for those that want to know how to get in contact with you and how they can find some help so they can heal their relationships and heal their families, and connect well with one another, how can people get in contact with you ladies, with your organization?
Well, they can always visit our website, which is healingheartsofindy.com. And on our website, we have, we all write blogs. There's Kathy and I and 3 other ladies that work with us. And we all have blogs that talks about relationships, issues. We have videos on there. And then also, they could always reach us via email. And my email address is Christy, which is CHRISTY, at healingheartsofindy.com. And Kathy is Kathy with a K at healingheartsofindy.com.
Thank you so much. This just feels so good. Like, I really want everybody that is watching to go and see and visit and experience the work that they do. Forget about the stigmas. Get the help that you need to really become happier, healthier, and really have a fulfilling life. So you guys just reach out to them and do the work that you need to do. It is absolutely a necessity. It's not a luxury. It's really a necessity. Yes, it is life-changing. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for talking. I really appreciate the work that you ladies do, and I appreciate you coming on the show and spending this time with me. It has really been great. Really, really. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching and tuning into Life Lessons. It's been a great, great show. Continue to stay tuned, and we'll be back next week. And as always, make it a great day.